In Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 17-yard line.
Check, 59. Rip left, rip left.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
53, Mike. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, man.
On 2nd and 1, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 49 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Snead's got it. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
6-man. Check, girl.
On 2nd down now. It's Moss. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 41 yards on the ground. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Got an open man, it's Foster. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
So don't say no.
Now Jackson. Flushed out right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 2nd down, it's Ingram. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Dancing to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Jamie Collins in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Just Tucker on for the field goal. A 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. Tucker, a career 70% success rate from 50-plus. Just incredible. And the All-Pro is money from distance again there.
They ought to give him 4 points for field goals from some of the distances that this guy makes them from.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Wentz. Open man, here's Foster. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here we go. That's what I do.
On first down, Sanders. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, 60 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
2nd and 5 now. Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And now look at him go. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
From the 31, Wentz steps away to his left. Looking deep, and this will be caught at the 30. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 39 yards there, a big one. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Robert Foster, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown. And this one, they help force another incompletion.
Throwing is Wentz. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Come on, let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him.
There goes Mark Ingram. They're all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Wentz. Rolling to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Eagles' 37-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
They can't hang with us.
Now it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the gun, it's Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 26. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
At the 26-yard line.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
This is Ingram. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Brown, the lone receiver, left. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Waiting. It's out time. It's out time, guys. It's out time. 36.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. On 2nd and 12, Wentz. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from 48. And the kick by Elliott is good. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Right now, let's go. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that.
Throwing on second down. Wentz. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them in contract time.
He'll let it go deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Robert Foster, 54 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip... And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Jamie Collins picks up his second sack of the afternoon. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Call it a pickup of 7 on the ground. That trims it to a 3rd and 15 situation. Throwing is Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
We call a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
They'll go again with Sanders. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Ingram. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out.
Here we go. At their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Pilot, 64, weak. 46 down, man, 5-4.
Now Wentz on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That's taken on the 25. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
Jackson's pass intended for Willie Snead.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And an Eagle first down.
Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz, being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. That's caught inside the 20. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there for Philly. 47 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Another run here with Sanders. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
A couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Jackson. Forced out to his left. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Jackson to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. Dancing to his left. Goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Jalen Ferguson. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Wentz throwing complete to Arcega-Whiteside. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Here we go. Let's pull me. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
Running right, here's Sanders. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Go.
Another run with Sanders. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. He'll let this go for the end zone. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Jackson now. Snead's got it. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Second and 9 at the 42-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
Here we go, D. All day defense.
Jackson to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Ingram. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Ready. 53. Check 53. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
Throwing now is Jackson. And he's got Snead. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 12-yard line.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in the game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. And a 20th carry now for Ingram. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here we go. Let's go. I got you.
On play action, Wentz steps away to his left.
Hey, let's get there.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Ingram. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Darqueze Dennard there to make the tackle.